Everybody, welcome back to Mint Out of the Box, the only unboxing show on here on YouTube where I use my 40 years plus of action figure collecting to break down today's and yesterday's toys, collectibles, pop culture, whatever comes across my desk. I am your host, the godfather of toys, the J-Bomb. With me as always, WrestleMania Mr. T, and the Randall, the greatest baseball giveaway of all time. This week, we're doing something slightly different. We will be opening toys, but we're doing, this is the Mick Foley episode, because this past week for producer Steph's birthday, I took her out for a night on the town to the Ontario Improv to go see Mick Foley live. And as you can see here, we got some stuff autographed. He was nice enough to do a photo for me that we will hang proudly back here, commemorating his meeting of the Godfather of Toys. The King of Hardcore met the Godfather of Toys. It was like a summit. It would have been even better if I had a chance to talk to him. Because he was a little bit enamored with producer Steph. And we will be showing you some photos, I'm sure, commemorating the event or the non-event, depending on who you're talking to. But we had a great time. Mick put on a fantastic show, talked about his certain parts of his career. He's a very good communicator, as you see. You know, he's a New York Times bestseller. I actually had him autograph my world-class light heavyweight belt. A lot of people don't know, especially because of his size, that he was the light heavyweight champ. He only held the belt for like maybe 5 days. That's how far back I go watching wrestling, is I saw him as Cactus Jack Manson wrestling the world class. And I remember I saw him come to the ring with a bandana over his face. And I thought that was like the coolest thing. Little did I know COVID was going to happen, and I got to do that for a year. But like I said, a lot of people probably got exposed to him mainly in WWF, in the Attitude Era, you know, the kind of the wrestling heyday. If you watched WCW, you saw him in the early 90s here and there. I was always a big fan, and not because of the Hell in a Cell thing, not because of the King of Deathmatch stuff. I just always thought his character was really fascinating. I saw him do a couple crazy bumps. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy stuff. But I was always a big fan of the stuff he did with Eddie Gilbert in the early ECW. And over on the East Coast, there was some of the independent promotions out there, because Eddie Gilbert, as everyone knows, is probably my inspiration for wanting to get into the wrestling business. But we had a fantastic time. And I also got to mention that his opener was Dolph Ziggler. Now, I know who Dolph Ziggler is. I've seen a few of his matches, but he came around when I was kind of not really watching WWE, WWF anymore. But his set was fantastic. I think he has a bright future if he just sticks to doing comedy. I mean, I don't know how much wrestling he does or whatever anymore, but his comedy was spot on, and I actually told him, and I don't know if he took it the right when the spirit which was intended was, he didn't seem like a wrestler. He seemed like a comedian. And everyone there at the show really liked it and had a good time. It was very, very funny, very entertaining. But so I figured, since I got to show off my autographed Cactus Jack, and then I have another one somewhere out there, and I couldn't find it, so I had to order another one, and it actually came today. And then the very next day, story of my life, after the event, I found this dude Love at Walmart. So we're going to dedicate this whole show to Cactus Jack. We're going to open up this stuff. Funko Pops, we know what they are. If you're a fan of anything ever, of anything, they've made a pop of it. And if they haven't, I'm sure it's on its way. So it's a regular pop. It's really cool looking. Like I said, when they first came out, I really didn't know what to think. But then I kind of just got so used to them. And like I said, any property that has ever been put on film, put on anything, Funko Pop has made something of it, from food brands, to TV, to movies, to cartoons, or I don't care what it is. If you grew up with some people next door, they probably made a pop of those guys too. And then we got this Cactus Jack figure. there's been a few Cactus Jacks made. I actually broke down, as I told you, I bought 3 of them. Getting the cue from producer Steph to get this the hell out of the way. It comes with this ECW backdrop, so you can cut promos with your figures if you want to. Or not. I was hoping he wouldn't have anything to hold him in, but he does. Just a hand-edged bat knife. You see, he's got putting the tongue through the teeth. He's doing the bang bang. With the hands, he's got other gimmick hands, so he can do other things. Comes with this very cool ECW tag team belt. Now here's where the complaints come. I hate to be the guy that kind of poo-poos on everything. I mean, it's a really cool figure. And I really appreciate that Ringside Collectibles put this out and produced this belt. Because I could go into a story about this belt. An actual story involving me in the actual ECW tag team belts. A pretty amazing, fun story, but I'm just not going to go into it today. But shout out to my old partner, Ball. If you're watching this, you remember the story. So, like I said, it's a cool belt. It's going to look fantastic on one of my other figures because even though Cactus Jack was one half of the ECW Tag Team Champions with Mikey Whipwreck, he didn't hold this version of the belt. I hate to be that guy, followed by the most being that guy comment you're going to hear all day. But if you're going to produce a figure, a beautiful figure like this, and sell it for near $30, and produce a belt with it, produce a belt that you never produced before. I understand if you produced a bunch of these belts for other people and just threw it in there. I kind of get that. But if you're producing a unique figure and you're producing a unique belt, produce the belt that he had. Please. I mean, you could even have thrown in the Steve Austin WCW tag belt because he went on ECW TV as WCW Tag Team Champion and spit on the belt. So you could have done that. So, like I said, I appreciate Ringside Collectibles making this belt. And it's going to look good on maybe an RVD or a Tommy Dreamer or one of the Dudley Boys or something like that. It's just not going to go on my Cactus Jack. So, like I said, it comes with a cloth shirt. It comes off. It's a great figure. By far the best Cactus Jack figure I think has been produced. So, I will put this over here. I'll set it up. Producer Steph can take some pictures of it to splice into the show. And we will even include pictures of this really, really cool belt that he never held. But other than that, I would like to give a quick shout out to all the mothers out there because this is Mother's Day. We're filming live on Mother's Day. Shout out to the godmother, or the whatever you call the mother of the godfather of toys, to my mom. She's had to put up with 48 years of this kind of wacky shit. And imagine when I didn't have anywhere to record it, she just had to see it live. And yeah, she's still alive. 48 years of putting up with all this madness, and the list goes on and on. So, shout out to you, Mom. I bet you regret buying me that first ever action figure. And shout out to the lovely one, Producer Steph. Not only was it her birthday this week, not only is she pretty much almost recovered from surgery, not only is she a nurse, not only is she my producer, not only is she my wife, on top of all that too, she's a mom. She's a mom to her 3 lovely children, and also my 3 lovely children, together we are a weird-ass Brady bunch. And every day she goes above and beyond, not just dealing with me, but dealing with the kids. There's only a couple of them that she's got to deal with pretty much 24/7, but she's always there for all our other ones, and they range from 20s all the way down to the single numbers, as you've seen them on the show before. And anytime they need something, the older ones don't need as much, but she stops whatever she's doing to make sure she handles whatever they need handled. As you can hear, my dog Lloyd is out there barking like an ass. So shout out to all the moms out there, to the moms in my life, and hope you all have a great Mother's Day. Treat mom good, especially if she's the one that bought you that first action figure. If you're a man child like me and still buying action figures, the fact that she hasn't thrown you out of the house or killed you yet, give her a shout out. So that's it for this week's episode of Mint Out of the Box. A special thanks to Dolph Ziggler and Cactus Jack for giving us a tremendous night of entertainment. Belated happy birthday to the lovely one, producer Steph. Happy Mother's Day to producer Steph. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week.